My dear friends, hear me now, not with your ears, but with your soul. Because I tell you this with fire in my spirit and thunder in my voice, be prepared, for God's biggest opportunity is coming, not next year, not 10 years from now. It is on the horizon, closer than you think. This is not the time to slumber. This is not the hour for hesitation. This is the season to sharpen your spirit, to align your heart, to cleanse your intentions, because when God moves, He moves suddenly, and only the prepared will recognize His signal. Some of you have been praying, crying, fasting, waiting, wondering when your breakthrough will arrive. You've walked through valleys, tasted bitterness, endured silence, and yet your faith has not died. I came to tell you, not from my own strength, but with the conviction of truth. The silence was not denial, it was preparation. The delay was not abandonment, it was divine arrangement. What you're about to walk into will not compare to the pain you've come out of if you are ready for it. God does not send greatness into hands that are still clinging to smallness. He will not release power into vessels that are cracked with doubt. You must let go of the fear. Let go of the old identity. Let go of what they said about you. Let go of the chains you've worn like ornaments. God is not giving you crumbs. He's preparing you for a feast. But if your spirit is still chasing shadows, how will you sit at the table? There is a stirring taking place in the unseen. There is a movement in the heavenlies that eyes cannot see and ears cannot hear. It is the orchestration of your destiny. It is God aligning moments, conversations, encounters, even delays to collide at the perfect time and unleash what He has stored for you. But you must be prepared. You must live like you expect it. You must walk like the opportunity is already here. Your preparation is your demonstration of faith. God is not moved by lip service. He is moved by spiritual posture. You know why many people miss what God sends? Because they're looking for it in the wrong form. They want the opportunity to come as applause, as comfort, as convenience. But sometimes God sends the greatest doors hidden behind adversity. He disguises the blessing in burden. He wraps the opportunity in discipline. And only those with eyes of faith will see beyond the disguise. You cannot wait to feel ready. You must be ready. You cannot wait until it makes sense. You must trust that God's sense is higher than your logic. You may be thinking, but I'm not qualified. Let me tell you something with boldness. God never asks for your qualifications. He only asked for your availability. He lifts the humble. He strengthens the weak. He crowns the faithful. Your background doesn't scare Him. Your age doesn't limit Him. Your scars don't disqualify you. God is not choosing the most popular. He's choosing the most prepared, not the loudest, not the flashiest, but those whose hearts are anchored, whose minds are sober, and whose spirits are awake. You don't need the world's approval when you have God's direction. You don't need man's applause when you are standing under God's assignment. But hear me well, an assignment comes with a cost. God doesn't raise up warriors in the palace. He trains them in the wilderness. He builds their character through rejection. He teaches patience through delay. He strengthens faith through battles. And when the appointed time comes, He unveils the prepared soul to a world that had counted them out. So you must ask yourself today, are you prepared for what you've been praying for? Have you been faithful with what's in your hand? Or have you buried your gifts in fear? Have you wasted time comparing, complaining, compromising? Or have you been sharpening your character, increasing your discipline, deepening your prayer? Because opportunity will always expose the prepared and the unprepared. And when God opens a door, He expects you to walk through it, not wander around it in confusion. God does not owe you another warning. He does not owe you another sign. He's already spoken. He's already stirred your heart. He's already whispered in the quiet moments of your doubt. And now the season is shifting The wind is changing direction. Those who discern the times will rise with the current. Those who stay stuck in the past will miss the wave. God is calling you out not just to survive, but to step into the divine purpose you were born for. This opportunity is not about money. It's not about fame. It's not about comfort. It's about alignment with God's plan. It's about being the right vessel in the right moment for the right reason. Some of you are being prepared to influence nations. Others are being shaped to restore families. Some are being molded to speak truth in dark places. This is bigger than you. This is not about making a name for yourself. It's about lifting up the purpose God placed in your bones before the world knew your name. Stop waiting for everything to be perfect. Stop waiting for people to believe in you. Stop waiting for the feelings to align. Faith is not about feeling, it's about focus, and your focus must now be laser sharp. Eliminate distractions. Purge the noise. Walk away from what weakens your spirit. God is not going to send His greatest opportunity into a life that is cluttered with confusion and compromise. He is looking for those who are clean in conscience, steady in spirit, and fierce in faith. You are standing on the edge of something you've never seen, but if you're still chained to what you've always known, you'll sabotage the door before it opens. Your new season is calling, but can your current mindset handle it? Will your old habits destroy what God is trying to build? This is why God delays, not to punish you, but to prepare you. He is kind enough to wait until your soul is fortified, your spirit is trained, your character is anchored. You cannot beg for rain and then complain about the storm. Sometimes God answers prayers in packages that require work, patience, and endurance. And only those who have learned to trust Him in obscurity will be trusted with visibility. He will not put power in the hands of those who crave attention. He will not pour wisdom into hearts that chase validation. You must be emptied of ego, purged of pride, and filled with purpose. Some of you are surrounded by noise, by doubters, by distractions, by unnecessary drama. And God is trying to get your attention. He's stripping away what you thought you needed so you can finally see what truly matters. He's removing people, places, and patterns that keep you stuck, because what's coming is holy. What's coming is sacred, and it cannot be contaminated by what's unclean. If you want to walk into the next chapter, you must be willing to shut the door on the old one. You've been through too much to give up now. You've cried too many tears to stop now. You've survived what should have destroyed you, and you think God did all that just to leave you here? No, He preserved you for a reason. He kept your mind when it was under attack. He covered your name when they tried to destroy it. He sustained your spirit when the enemy came in like a flood. And now is the time to rise, to stand, to step forward in readiness. But readiness is not passive, it's active, it's intentional, it's disciplined. You must prepare your habits, your attitude, your circle, your vision. Because God's opportunity comes like a wave, and you either ride it or you get swept under. You either move with the current or you miss your moment. This is not the hour for fear. This is the hour for boldness. This is the time for sacred courage, the kind that walks into the unknown, fully trusting that if God is behind it, no man can stop it. Your preparation proves your faith. Every quiet decision you make in secret is a seed for the harvest you will walk into. Every time you say no to temptation, every time you push through resistance, every time you keep going when nobody claps, God sees it, God honors it, and at the right time, He will reward it. You do not need to announce your preparation. Stay low. Stay focused. Let the results speak. Because when God elevates, no one can question the journey. Some of you are expecting God to show up in the same way He did before. But God is not in the business of repetition. He's in the business of transformation. And He's not bringing back the old version of your blessing. He's creating a new thing. But can you perceive it? Can you stretch your faith beyond familiarity? Can you believe in the unseen enough to prepare like it's already done? There are divine connections on their way, strategic doors, powerful partnerships, ideas that will unlock legacy. But they will only align with those who are in position. God is not going to force you into your destiny. He will invite you into it. But only you can decide if you will say yes with your life, not just your lips. Dust yourself off. Wipe the tears, silence the doubts, gather your strength, clear your space, refocus your energy, set your eyes on what's above, because something sacred is coming, something weighty, something that will require all of you, your mind, your will, your faith, your obedience. This is not the time to get lazy. This is not the time to drift. This is the time to lock in, to wake up, to move with urgency, because when God says it's time, no one can delay it, but you must be ready when it arrives. God doesn't need a crowd to confirm your calling. He needs your heart to be alive. He's not measuring you by the world's standards. He's measuring your faith, your humility, your endurance, and when the opportunity comes, it will demand everything you prepared in secret. So don't despise the waiting. Don't rush the process. Stay faithful, stay focused, stay ready, because God's biggest opportunity is not just coming, it's almost here. God is not looking for the loudest voice in the room. He is searching for the purest heart. The world celebrates noise, but God responds to truth. And if your heart is anchored in Him, if your motives are refined by obedience, if your desires are stripped of pride, then you are already being positioned for what's next. God does not operate by earthly calendars. He is not restricted by clocks or deadlines. When He speaks a thing, it must come to pass. But He will not release it until the vessel is fully surrendered. So I urge you now, search your soul. Examine every corner of your life. Where are you holding on to things God told you to release? What burdens are you still carrying that God already offered to lift? The opportunity He is preparing is not a casual blessing. It is a divine shift. It will require purity of heart and clarity of purpose. You cannot step into what's coming with yesterday's mindset. You cannot hold on to old wounds and expect new wine to flow. The space must be made clean. The heart must be made still. The will must be made firm. There is a sacred weight to what God is preparing, and only those who have allowed Him to forge their character in the fire of discipline will be able to carry it without being crushed. God is not just preparing a moment. He's preparing you to last within that moment. He doesn't want you to merely arrive at your destiny. He wants you to sustain it, to multiply it, to honor Him with it. And that kind of stewardship begins long before the door opens. You may be hidden now, you may feel forgotten, but in the stillness, God is sharpening you. He is pruning what cannot grow with you. He is removing distractions so your ears can hear Him clearly. This season is not punishment, it is divine preparation. The cocoon may seem like a prison to the caterpillar, but it is the birthing place of the wings. And some of you are in that cocoon now. The darkness is not your end, it's your womb. God is forming something within you that will soon emerge and soar if you stay in position. Don't underestimate small obedience. Don't belittle quiet preparation. God sees it, God honors it. What the world overlooks, God magnifies. What others laugh at, God breathes life into. Remember, when God decides to raise someone, He does it without permission from the crowd. He doesn't check the opinions of others before exalting a soul that has humbled itself. So do not seek validation, seek purification. Do not chase popularity, chase presence. Because God's opportunity does not flow through the hands of man, it comes straight from the throne of power. If you want to walk in the greatness God has ordained, you must learn how to remain faithful in the unseen. Faithfulness is not proven on platforms, it is forged in silence, in the hours where nobody is watching, in the moments where you say no to what your flesh craves and yes to what your spirit needs. That's where preparation happens. That's where spiritual roots dig deep. And when the storm comes, and it will, you won't be shaken because you've been built on solid ground. God is not preparing you for a temporary blessing. He is building within you a foundation that can host the eternal. What is coming will not only affect your life, it will touch generations after you. The words you speak, the habits you build, the choices you make, they are forming a legacy. And when God sends this opportunity, it will not just be a reward, it will be a responsibility, a calling to rise higher, a demand to live with intentionality and righteousness. The enemy knows what's coming. That is why the pressure has increased. That is why distractions have multiplied. That is why your mind has been under attack, your peace disturbed, your faith tested. It is not random. It is because the opportunity that God is preparing will change everything. And if the enemy can get you to quit now, to compromise now, to grow weary now, he can rob you of what was always meant to be yours. But you must not faint. You must not fold. You must remember that God finishes what he starts. This is the moment to dig deep into discipline. Fast when no one is watching. Pray when you don't feel like it. Study wisdom like your life depends on it, because it does. Keep your eyes fixed above, not on what is trending, not on who's ahead, not on what the world says is successful. You are not being prepared for temporary recognition. You are being prepared for eternal significance. And that kind of opportunity is reserved only for those who walk in reverence. Be aware, too, that when the opportunity comes, it may not look like what you imagine. It may come wrapped in challenge. It may demand sacrifice. But therein lies the divine test. Will you recognize God's hand when it arrives without glamour? Will you say yes when the reward isn't immediate, but the purpose is unmistakable? Those who are truly prepared are not seeking ease, they are seeking alignment. They are not chasing applause, they are chasing obedience. That is the kind of heart God can trust with something great. God will often whisper before he thunders. He will test you in the quiet before he elevates you in the public. You must treat the hidden seasons with as much honor as the visible ones, because your conduct in the shadows determines the weight you can carry in the light. Do not despise the days of preparation. Do not wish them away. Cherish them, steward them, use them, because when the hour comes, you will look back and realize that every moment in the waiting room was a lesson. Every delay was a divine setup, and every battle was a classroom for strength. I speak now to the one who feels like giving up. Don't. Not now. You are too close. You've endured too much. You have come too far. What God has been building is almost ready, but it needs a ready soul. And that means you must finish what you started. Don't just start praying. Build a life of prayer. Don't just start seeking. Make seeking God your lifestyle. Don't just expect a miracle. Prepare your spirit to receive it. Faith without preparation is fantasy. But when faith meets preparation, destiny is born. There is a wave of divine opportunity coming to those who have remained steadfast. God is about to shift people into positions they didn't even apply for. He's about to open doors you didn't knock on. He's about to bring connections you didn't chase. Not because you earned it, but because you endured. Not because of your popularity, but because of your purity. And when it happens, you will not boast. You will bow. You will lift your hands, not in pride, but in praise. Because you will know it was God, only God, always God. Let your heart be found ready. Let your thoughts be anchored. Let your motives be cleansed. Let your words be seasoned. Let your hands be diligent. Let your eyes stay lifted. For what God is bringing is too great to treat casually, too holy to walk into with a half-hearted life. And if you are not ready yet, then get ready. Because the greatest opportunity of your life is on the horizon, not born from man's systems or schemes, but delivered straight from the throne of God. God does not speak in confusion. He speaks in clarity. And when he declares a thing, that word is final. No force in the heavens or on the earth can cancel what God has ordained. What he opens, no one can shut, and what he shuts, no one can force open. But his opportunities are not random. They are righteous. They are not driven by luck. They are governed by alignment. You must come into alignment with his will to walk into the fullness of what he has prepared. There can be no divided loyalty, no half-hearted devotion, no spiritual laziness in this hour. You must decide who you are living for, who you are trusting, and who you are willing to follow when the way forward demands complete surrender. Too many want the promise but resist the purification. They want the breakthrough but refuse the breaking. They want the elevation but detest the crushing. But God refines his vassals in fire. He tests the weight of your character before placing the weight of his blessing in your hands. Do not mistake delay for denial. Sometimes God is allowing pressure to reveal if your heart is truly loyal to him or only loyal to the benefits of his presence. He tests the hidden places. He searches the motives beneath your actions. He listens not only to what you say, but to what you think. He knows the true desires you hide from the world, and it is in the exposure of those inner places where transformation must begin. God's opportunity is not just a chance to be seen or elevated. It is an invitation to steward his divine assignment. And God does not give such sacred responsibility to those who are casual with their calling. You must rise beyond mediocrity. You must train your mind to think higher, your soul to crave deeper, your spirit to reach further. Let the noise of the world fall silent in your ears. Let the applause of men become meaningless compared to the whisper of God. For when God speaks, mountains move, rivers part, and nations are shifted. And when he speaks into your life, everything changes. But you must be ready to receive that change, not just with open hands, but with a surrendered life. The greatest tragedy is not that people miss God's opportunity. The tragedy is that they were unprepared when it finally came. They were distracted by bitterness, consumed by comparison, paralyzed by fear, or intoxicated by worldly ambition. Their hands were too full of the unnecessary to hold the sacred, and so God had to pass them by. Not because he loved them less, but because they were not in position. They had no oil in their lamps. Their hearts had grown dull. Their ears could no longer hear. Their spirits had fallen asleep while waiting. But you, if you are listening now, it is not too late. You can still wake up. You can still prepare. You can still shake the dust off your faith, stretch your hands toward heaven and say, God, make me ready. Strip away what I don't need. Remove what is in the way. Strengthen what is weak in me. Give me endurance. Give me vision. Give me the discipline to finish what I started. That prayer, when spoken from a sincere heart, shakes the heaven. It stirs the atmosphere. Because God responds to hunger. He answers desperation. He draws near to the broken and builds his glory upon those who are willing to decrease so he may increase. The opportunity that is coming will not just bless you, it will require more of you. It will not just open doors, it will stretch your capacity. It will not just elevate your name, it will test your integrity. And the question is, can you be trusted with what you've been praying for? Can you handle influence without losing humility? Can you walk in favor without forgetting the one who gave it? Can you stand in the spotlight and still seek the secret place where your soul was forged in silence? That is why God prepares you in hiding. That is why He delays the platform, so that the private man is strong enough to carry the weight of the public calling. You don't prepare after the door opens. You prepare now, you discipline your thoughts now, you consecrate your time now, you guard your tongue now, you cleanse your motives now. Because when the opportunity comes, it will demand a version of you that can only be shaped in obedience. And obedience is not always glamorous, it is often painful. It will ask you to say no when everything in you wants to say yes. It will require separation from comfort, confrontation with truth, and commitment to walk away from what once fed your ego. But what God is preparing will far outweigh what you're giving up now. The pain of preparation will be forgotten in the joy of fulfillment. Do not chase opportunity, chase obedience. Do not seek the next big thing, seek the next faithful step. God knows how to find you. He knows your name, your tears, your prayers, your sacrifice. He has not lost sight of your struggle. He has not ignored your midnight cries. He has counted every seed you've sown in secret, and He is faithful to reward those who do not give up when everything in them wants to quit. Your reward will not be delayed a moment longer than necessary. When the time is right, God will act. Not a second too early, not a second too late, but right on time. So stand tall even if you feel broken. Walk forward even if the path seems uncertain. Lift your head even if the weight is heavy, because God is not finished with you. He's just getting started. The pressure you feel is not the end. It is the contraction before birth. Something is about to be released in your life that will shift your story forever, but it will not happen by accident. It will happen because you stayed faithful, stayed awake, stayed obedient, even when no one saw you but God. This is your season of divine alignment. This is the time to sharpen your discernment, to protect your peace, to silence every voice that does not lead you to truth, to invest in what feeds your spirit, to remove yourself from anything that poisons your purpose. Because when God opens the door, you don't want to be dragging unnecessary baggage. You don't want to be held back by soul ties, by bitterness, by regret. You want to be light enough to run through that door. You want to be strong enough to carry what's waiting on the other side. And when it comes, don't hesitate. Don't question if you're worthy. Don't shrink back in fear. Remember the fire you've walked through. Remember the nights you stayed on your knees. Remember the tests you passed when no one was watching. God saw it all. And this moment is His response. This opportunity is heaven's answer. It's not a coincidence. It's not a lucky break. It is the manifestation of divine timing met with a ready soul. The moment is coming when God will test the weight of your preparation. And on that day, you won't have time to rehearse faith. You'll need to walk in it. You won't have time to build discipline. You'll have to lean on it. The opportunity God is about to present will separate the spectators from the servants. It will distinguish those who are curious from those who are committed. God is not looking for crowds. He is looking for covenant. He is searching for those who didn't just talk about surrender, but lived it in the silence of obscurity. Many have been hidden in this season, not because they were forgotten, but because they were being forged. God hides what He values. Just as gold is buried deep beneath the surface and diamonds are formed in pressure, so too are the most powerful vessels of God developed in private. What looks like isolation is divine incubation. What feels like silence is sacred instruction. God is teaching you how to rely on Him when there's no applause, how to trust Him when there's no evidence, how to obey Him when there's no visible reward. because that's where the true foundation is laid. Not in the light, but in the shadows where only God sees. This is why your private life matters more than your public image. What you do when no one is watching reveals who you really are. That is the soil where God plants His promises. That is the ground where opportunity will either bloom or die. If you've been careless with time, if you've wasted moments, if you've tolerated distractions that steal your focus from God, this is your wake-up call. God's opportunity is not delayed. It is approaching with purpose and precision. But only those who've made God their priority will be able to carry the weight of what's next. Let every compromise be confronted. Let every idol be crushed. Let every voice that pulls you away from God be silenced. This is the time for fierce alignment, for radical obedience, for complete devotion, because the higher God takes you, the more exposed you become. And if your roots are shallow, the winds of promotion will destroy you instead of elevate you. But if your roots are deep, deep in prayer, deep in truth, deep in humility, then when the door opens, you will not just survive, you will thrive. Understand this, God is not sending you an opportunity to inflate your ego. He is entrusting you with influence to reflect His glory. He is calling you higher, not so you can sit above others, but so you can serve with greater reach and greater impact. And the higher the calling, the deeper the preparation. God will not allow you to skip steps. He will not allow shortcuts. What He's building in you is not fragile, and eternal things require eternal focus. Some of you are wondering why the breakthrough hasn't come yet. You're asking why the door remains shut. But have you examined your heart? Have you purged the pride, the bitterness, the fear, the secret habits that poison your spirit? Because God's opportunity is holy, and He will not place what is sacred into hands that are stained by disobedience. He loves you too much to give you something prematurely. He knows what you can carry. He knows when you are ready. And when you align with His timing, nothing can stop what He has ordained. So let this season be a furnace. Let it refine you. Let it humble you. Let it strip away everything that cannot go with you into the next chapter. Your comfort cannot follow you there. Your old identity must die. Your reliance on man must crumble. Because where God is taking you, He alone must be your source, your guide, your sustainer. The path forward will not be built by popularity, nor paved by applause. It will be carved by faith, pressed by sacrifice, and sealed by obedience. The opportunity God has planned will not look like what you expected. It may come disguised as a challenge. It may be wrapped in responsibility. It may look like a burden before it reveals itself as a blessing. But that is how God works. He tests the heart before He reveals the purpose. He hides the treasure inside the task. He places miracles inside moments that others overlook. And only those who are spiritually awake, alert, and aligned will recognize what others will miss. You must keep your oil full. Keep your faith strong. Keep your conscience clean. Do not let the world wear you down or dilute your fire. Do not allow your surroundings to dictate your spiritual temperature. The world may be cold, but you must stay burning with purpose. God did not light your soul to flicker. He lit it to blaze. You are not here to blend in. You are here to rise above, to carry the weight of His message, to manifest His wisdom in a generation that is searching for truth. And when the moment comes, and it will come like a sudden wind, those who are ready will rise without hesitation. They will move with clarity, speak with authority, and walk with power. They will not second-guess their purpose, because they've been living it all along. They've been in the fields when no one was watching. They've been on their knees when no one was applauding. They've been refining their character, purging their motives, aligning their steps with the divine rhythm of God's timing. That's who God will use. Not the loudest, not the most talented, not the most popular, but the prepared, the broken, the surrendered, the one who cried in the dark but kept walking, the one who sacrificed what was easy for what was eternal, the one who chose faith over fear, discipline over comfort, truth over popularity. God sees you, and your moment is closer than you think. So rise, even if you feel unqualified. Stand, even if your legs are trembling. Obey, even if you don't understand every step, because when God says it's time, no man can stop what he sets in motion. And if you've been faithful in the silence, you'll be fruitful in the spotlight. This is not the end of your story. It's the beginning of something sacred, something supernatural, something that will echo beyond this life and into eternity. God's greatest opportunity is not a myth, not a fantasy, not a distant dream. It's real, it's coming, and it's yours to receive if you are prepared.